I'm redoing the intro post-edit because, or post-record because it was really cringe. This video is just me going through the patch notes. I wanted to do it very fast, but as you'll see, it took a very long time because I like talking about this kind of stuff. Yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, Season 9.1. First of all, the skins. I don't think I've seen any of these in-game yet. Because usually they do skin reveals as well. Okay, I mean, personally, I'm liking the Nike one. Although Nike already has a couple of good ones. But I would need to see these in game. Oh wow, okay, the Shribda skin's cool because they made Casilla has one of these skins. The Rom skin looks pretty cool as well. Angel of Death Thanatos, eh? I saw Apollo was getting reworked as well. Kukulkan skin's decent. Man, not a big fan of the Loki skin. The Danza skin's cute. It's the patch note one. Atlas, okay. I mean, it looks cool. Kind of reminds me of the Abyssal Ares skin, but not really. Geb one's good too. Geb needs some Halloween-inspired skins. Apollo, I think this is a really good rework. He looks decent. This is the Mastery skin. Oh wow, this is his tier 1. Damn. It looks really sick. Okay, skins are nice, but we're mainly here for, you know, everything else. So, new DLC. You can get all of the Season 9 gods and some spectacular content for each all year long with SMITE Season Pass 2022. So this is the same as... Wait, hold up. Space Scoundrel, so is that this one? It is. So it's the same as with every last year. If you buy it, you get this skin, specifically. You get all of the new gods, and you get like a specific tier 1 skin for each god. So it shows here as well. You also get a title as well. Oh, yeah, these are the things that come. So the Wave and Clap, Voice Pack, Limited Recaller, Base Recaller, and then just that god specifically, or whatever god comes out. Okay, this is the release. New event, Dharmic Era, so I'm guessing Ganesh inspired. Every 2 weeks we will release an event with 4 exclusive items. On initial release the bundles will cost 900 gems, and once the next bundle releases, the previous bundle will become 1200 gems. Okay. Purchase 2 bundles to unlock an exclusive Rom skin. Purchase 4 bundles to unlock the limited Loki skin. So 2 bundles is, I'm guessing, this skin, and 4 is this skin. Which I kind of like the Rom skin more, personally, but... Questing is free for everyone. Discover the Hindu gods in the Codex by seeing them in matches. This can be achieved by playing as, playing with, or playing against these Hindu gods. Seeing a god 3 times grants the player the ultimate Hindu pantheon frame. This frame levels up with an icon every time you complete full god portrait. That's pretty cool. Here's the schedule for release. So we're getting Shribdis, Kukulkan first, and then these are not... I mean, they're announced, but we don't really see them yet. Okay. Bug fixes. Okay. God filtering. Issues where players are not receiving God Mastery avatars for each 10 gods mastered. Okay. Fixed additional issues with ranked leaderboards. I'm not entirely aware of those, but... Fixing issue where accounts at exactly level 30 would experience matchmaking issues, making it hard to get a match in Joust or in our Conquests. Okay. Fix an issue where the Diamonds Are Forever achievement was not properly unlocking. I think that's for getting 20 mastery diamonds, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh wow, okay, so for Persephone, her first ability was apparently applying a slow. For Haim, they fixed an issue where his Bifrost ability could be used, but not go on cooldown in rare instances. Bifrost, I think, is his 3, but I'm not entirely sure. Fixed an issue where Chang's Pirate Admiral and Pirate Queen skin would play default effects with the first and third ability, okay. See fixed an issue where Stingray skin cannot see the AoE radius of the Hive's effects. Okay. I'm not sure Stinkpunk which skin that is, but I think for experienced AMC players it's good to not see the Hives, because you know roughly the range and it doesn't obscure your vision all too much, but obviously for newer people it does matter. Oh wow, fix an issue where this god could still be picked by when banned. Kalina is already a really good god, so the fact that she can't be banned is a terrible glitch, but they fixed that as well. War flag fix an issue where the gold gain from this item could stop working if multiple war flags were present on multiple players in the area. Fix an issue where some of Thoth, Yemoja, and Athena's abilities were not triggering gold gain as intended. Okay. We're getting some quality of life updates. Audio. New map audio cues have been added for various maps. Map events, sorry, on various SMITE game modes. So, this is good. It does. They say been added, but basically what this does is when something like spawns or is destroyed or killed, it plays an audio cue. Although I thought Fire Giant and Gold already had it, so I'm guessing it's either added or changed. Yeah, more audio cues is definitely better because it means less looking at your map. Slash is the new game mode, so we're gonna see that. I'm actually just gonna ignore this for now. Oh, for Arena, this is really good. This is a big quality of life. As it kind of when you're below 10, you want to be really careful. If you're ahead, you want to play minions. If you're behind, you want to play for kills. So knowing this and everyone on the team getting a notification is huge. Joust Bull Demon, okay. It spawns at 4, I think. Which, if you play a lot of Joust, you kind of just know. And usually you don't go for Bull as it spawns. It's very rare for people to rush Bull, but hey. There was already a sound for it, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I guess not. I mean, you could obviously see it by the Phoenix, but I guess there wasn't a sound, so yeah, that's good. Well, music packs will now have ambient music. Some will have unique music for this. Others will have default music. Okay. This volume of this ambient music can be adjusted with a new volume slider labeled ambient music. That's good. More customization. Commendation screen has undergone a visual up. This is necessary. The commendation screen was... I mean, visually, actually, I don't mind it too much. It just felt... I felt a bit off. So, there's probably going to be screenshots later on. We'll look at those when we get there. Apollo remodel. I'm not going to read all of that. This is an important thing, though. You can buy classic skins like you can do with ISA/ESIT. Who else got reworked? I guess Baka's. Don't really know who else, but yeah, it's good. Commendations. On 9.1 launch, you'll earn a Sobek skin for good behavior. The new season commendation skin again to be revealed later. Okay. So if you had a certain amount of commendations by playing, basically if you play a lot and you're not toxic and you don't feed too hard, you'll probably get the skin. New ranked rewards. So there was a Yana skin, which I didn't know about, but apparently now there's a Geb Grave Golem. Is that the one? Yeah, so this is now the ranked reward. I believe it's 75 wins to get that. 75 wins in ranked. Doesn't matter which game mode specifically. And you'll earn a Grave Golem. And I think it's 150 for the loading frame, if I'm not mistaken. Ranked reset should be the same as always. MMR soft reset, rank soft reset. God leaderboards are reset. Maybe just as a quick explanation, if you don't play ranked a lot, MMR is basically your skill, and rank is your actual rank. So you could play against people that are higher rank, but technically in the same skill level, or otherwise. That's the difference between those two. Game modes. So we're getting a new game mode. Smite's first totally new and permanent game mode in years is finally launching. Slash takes elements from both the Siege and Clash modes and merges them together into an entirely new mode. The map features traditional Tower, Phoenix, and Titan objectives, and a jungle sized in between those Siege and Clash. So, yeah, a fairly big jungle. Because Siege's jungle was huge. Clash barely didn't have any. The open center area and 5v5 team sizes from Clash ensure frequent fighting and rotations, A new Juggernaut Camps that can be cleared to spawn your own Juggernaut that pushes lanes and to be teleported to, like, Siege. So, we're getting 5v5 Siege, basically, with more fighting, like you would in Clash. Order players will play from the Maya side, featuring an all-new art set for this classic Pantheon. Chaos players will play from the Egyptian side. We are very excited to introduce this new casual objective-focused map in SMITE Season 9. I'm excited for this, because I've been enjoying Clash and Conquest more than I have Arena, so any kind of farm-related game mode is very welcome. 5v5 starting level and gold is the same as any other casual mode. Nothing is banned, so I'm not entirely sure. I think right now, all the items that are in Conquest are also in Joust and Arena. Because it used to be starter items were different depending on where, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, in this case, all the items are there. Counts for all types of progression and relevant quests and appear in match history. So this is basically mode of the day. Doesn't count for all of this stuff. It does count for your level, but it doesn't count for quests, or I think it doesn't count for quests. And it actually it might appear in your match history, but it doesn't give you accolades. So this does. Nothing really to worry about. Has accolade for slash matches played, so you know, I don't know if there's going to be achievements related to it, but Siege and Clash will be removed from the normal queues list. Siege and Clash will be options for custom matches. I think this is good, because I'm not a Siege/Clash main, but I do feel like those who are gonna have issues with this. But I'm personally a fan of them just throwing this out, saying if you want to play for real, play it here, but if you still want to play Siege or Clash with friends, go for it. That's a good thing. Map layout. So we have Apophis of chosen Juggernauts. Juggernauts have a completely new look, modeled after the boss of this map, Apophis. The humanoid snake man will spawn in specific camps around the map, and when defeated will join the team who dealt the final blow. They will push down lanes and use a variety of melee and range attacks. The minion counter to earn Juggernauts from Siege will not exist on this map. Players must clear the camps to spawn a Juggernaut. So if I'm understanding it right, they're keeping the push mechanic. Oh wait, I just realized this map is sideways. Okay, so they're using the siege mechanic of spawn something that runs along and destroys towers, but instead of killing minions, you now don't kill the big Apophis, but you kill small Apophises around the map, and then that's how you get it. Is what I'm getting from this. Portals. If your team owns a Juggernaut, a portal will open in your base, so like Siege. There will be 2 different portals to allow players to choose which lane to travel to in the event of 2 Juggernauts being owned at once. That's good. Teleportation is no longer instant, but instead a fast fight down the lane path. Wait. Teleportation is no longer instant, but instead a fast fight down the lane path. Gods are immune while traveling. Okay. That's good. There's some delay on it. This is good because back in the... or not back in the day, but in Siege, if there's 2... I think it teleports you to the one that's furthest away. So, you know, if one's really pushed up to a Phoenix, but there's like 4 enemies on it, and in the other lane, it's like halfway, you might want to TP to the other one, just to be safe. And this gives you the option to do so. Apophis will remain the main jungle boss. Spawns in the... oh, it does. She does spawn in the center. Okay. Or he, or whatever. At 10, team that slays Apophis is granted a buff, so you have to blast hit it. Grants 50 power, 30 power. Enemies got max health over 4 seconds, so some percentage damage. You heal, so like Fire Giant. 4%, 2%, 4% health, 2% mana over 5 seconds. Damage to enemy structures is increased by 25. Okay, good. And 20 minutes Apophis becomes enhanced, so you get 70 power, 50 fizz. The percentage damage is doubled, the health is the same, and structure damage is the same. Juggernaut Camps. Slaying a Juggernaut in one of the wild Juggernaut Camps will grant you a friendly Juggernaut that pushes the lane for total... oh, okay, so Apophis is unrelated to the Juggernauts. My bad, okay. There's... for Okay, so you could technically kill 4 of these, but I don't know if you could have 4 out at the same time. Pairs outside of each lane. Okay. First spawns at 4 minutes, respawns every 4. Both camps in a contestable pair alternate between hosting a Juggernaut and enhanced speed, mana, or damage buff. That's good. That's good. Playing a Juggernaut in one of these camps. Spawn a Juggernaut. Yeah, okay. Oh, the lane closest to it, so you can choose where you want it to go. Safe pair needs. Okay, so basically there's 2 neutral ones, and then there is 2 team-based ones, which I don't really have an opinion about. I'm not sure. It's probably good that you have some neutral and some specific to your region farm. Okay, slaying a Juggernaut in one of these camps will spawn a Juggernaut in a random lane, prioritizing the lane without a Juggernaut currently pushing it. That's if you do your own team one. So the neutral one, you can basically choose in which lane by killing that specific one, but this one is random. Base stats, I'm not gonna read, it's not too important. New jungle minion, Jaguars, speed buff holders. That's good, because there was no speed buff in Clash before. I'm not sure what the speed buff stats are, but I think these are the same. Keep in mind this is a yellow, not a purple buff. Right? Yeah, it should be a purple buff. Yellow buff. Because yellow boosts speed and attack speed. And... wait, what? Actually, I'm not sure if it's going to be yellow or purple. We'll see. Blue buff baboons have undergone texture and model updates. These are a big meme if you watch BMT. I don't know. It's just it's an inside joke I've loved for the last couple of years because they can hit pretty hard. A 25 MP5 10%. Okay, that's the regular blue buff, and the enhanced version is 25 MP5 and 10%. Oh, an additional, so 50 MP5, 20% cooldown reduction. Okay, that's nuts. You can basically build 20% and have full CDR on a mage. That's good. Red buff hyenas give you 15% fizz and magical, 10 base magical, 5 is physical. You get another 10%, so it's 25, 20, and 10 for the enhanced. That's good. Conquests. I'm gonna skim through this a bit more. New objective Obelisk. The obelisks are a map objective that drive a new gameplay loop layered onto Conquest. Overview. Each team now has an obelisk in their side of the jungle. The obelisks are banks of power, which teams power up by collecting offerings. Offerings are pickups that will drop from marked camps when the obelisks become active. The first team to fill up their obelisk with 7 offerings is granted Indra's Scepter, a powerful new type of jungle buff. Which is not... oh, it's down here, okay. About 4 minutes into the match, the obelisks become active and certain jungle camps around the map become marked. It will respawn the moment they are dead. Clearing a marked camp spawns a single offering that either team can pick up to add 1 point. Okay, so you don't need to get a last hit if I'm reading this right. Okay, so basically, it doesn't matter if you get the last hit. The last hit is probably going to still give you gold and XP. But it's whoever picks it up that gets the offering. While the obelisks are active, the jungle camps remain marked until one team powers up their obelisk completely. Offerings can be stolen from the enemy obelisk by standing within its radius and taking 10% of their current health as true damage for every offering stolen. So if it stacks, you can lose 70% of your HP, but just steal the entire... I guess not 7, because at 7 it becomes active. So you would have to steal 6 offerings. When one team has filled their obelisk first by collecting 7 offerings, that team is granted Indra's Scepter. Both teams are also awarded 25 gold and XP per player for every offering they collected while the obelisks were active. So there's more farm. That's good. One thing I was... yeah, I'm not a big fan of having to stick around in the enemy's jungle to steal stuff, because if you're already ahead, this is gonna put you even more ahead, and snowballing can already be very annoying, but I would have to see gameplay of this. Become active at 4 minutes. All marked camps return to normal. Offerings can no longer be collected while the obelisks are inactive. And the obelisks are emptied of their offerings. Okay? Interceptor. Cannot be picked up by enemy team. That's good. Has a lifetime of 4 minutes, which begins ticking down as soon as it spawns. The scepter will allow the first friendly god that touches the scepter... Wait, scepter will follow the first friendly god that touches the scepter. While following the scepter has 2 modes. If no enemies are within 35 units, the scepter grants an R of 25 HP 5. So it says to nearby allies, so I'm guessing a support is gonna probably try to get this to follow them. So they have a healing aura. This is 5 HP per second, by the way. HP 5 means how many HP you get per 5 seconds. So 5 HP. This effect is tripled for friendly structures. Huh. I'm guessing when you're in your own structure, it's 75 HP 5 then? I'm not entirely sure about this. If enemies are within 35 units, the scepter will fire ball lightning projectiles every second at up to 5 enemy targets simultaneously. Each lightning projectile deals 3.5% of enemies' max health. The scepter prioritizes targeting enemy gods over minions. Okay? I have no clue what to think about this, and so I'm just gonna leave it there. New NPC Naga. These will spawn in place of previous lesser scorpions. Okay. 2 in dual lane, 1 in solo lane. Remove the healing deployable spawned by lesser scorpions. These drop offerings while the obelisks are active. So they're gonna be stronger buff camps, as mentioned earlier. But okay. Scorpions, greater scorpions. Not only reside on the fire giant side of the jungle, so not on a long lane or dual lane anymore. Each team now has one of their... Wait, each team now has one on their side of the map, which makes sense. Destroying the greatest scorpion now enhances all of the jungle buffs on the side of the jungle for the team that's slated until the scorpion respawns. Lesser scorpions removed from the lanes, and now this model has been moved to be the support buff holder. Okay. Draugr. The Draugr has returned to the abyssal depths from whence it came. It and its buff has now been removed. So this was the thing in all the way on the side of dual lane. Balance. Fire Giant. Increased physical and magical power scaling from 2 to 4. So Pyro hits harder. Same thing with Pyromancer. Or sorry, Pyromancer and Fire Giant. Base physical power. Gold Fury hits harder. Oh, it scales higher. My bad. Okay. So Gold Fury just hits harder by default, but Pyro, Fire, and Gold just slowly are gonna have more increased damage whenever they respawn. Stats for Naga, stats for the Scorpions. Okay. We're getting a new arena, I think. Wait, Roman? Or is it currently Roman? Oh, I guess it is currently Roman. The arena is getting a boost to the XP and gold gain of the mode. We're introducing a lot of late game features, and we want arena players to be able to experience them as often as possible. This is very, very necessary. Arena is one of those game modes where unless if you have like 15 kills, you're never gonna get fully online. So this is good. You get 2 gold per second more, 2 XP per second more. Chinese Joust, current default Joust, and I personally hope forever Joust, because it is the best one. Joust is seeing similar changes as Arena. Okay, so I'm not even gonna go over this. Increased scaling frequency from every 3 minutes to every 2 minutes. So more minions. Increased scaling XP reward from 0 to 4. Increased scaling XP reward. So you'll get more gold and XP throughout the game, and it's additive. It keeps going up, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. Melee and brute minions, decreased base XP reward. Okay, so this is the red and blue buff. Basically, lanes are more important, buffs are less important. Interesting. Relic, reworks, and upgrades. Base relics will now be awarded based on level. First relic at level 1, second relic at level 12. Okay. Relics will now have a tier 2 form and 2 different tier 3 forms priced at. Tier 2 is 300 gold, I think it used to be 5, and tier 3 is 800. This is, by the way, this is the same, isn't it? Be awarded based on level. I think this is exactly the same as it used to be. I don't know why they put it here. There are no level restrictions or timing restrictions on upgrading relics. Players can spend 1100 gold to fully upgrade one at level 1 if they desire. Oh damn, okay. Oh no, I hate this. I hate Aegis Amulet with a passion. I think it should not be in the game. So very unlucky that this is getting buffed, but whatever. Using this item makes you invulnerable to damage and healing for 1.5 seconds. Prevents you from taking any actions? Oh, never mind, okay. You may still move. Each instance of damage prevented and this time provides you... Okay. This time provides you... So, basically, if you keep firing into Aegis, it's gonna be buffed up. So it counters items like Crusher or gods like AMC more, because they'll have tick damage. I mean, I'm just giving 2 examples, but anything with tick damage, once you apply it and they use their Aegis, you don't have any way of stopping it, so you're basically just buffing them up. So I really dislike this. Using this item makes you invulnerable to damage and healing. Okay, yeah. You may still move. At the end of the duration, you explode, dealing 100 damage plus 50% of the prevented damage as magical damage in a 30-unit radius. The damage dealt by this effect is capped at 50% of your maximum health. Okay, so if someone does 90% of your health while you have Aegis, it's still just going to be 50%. I guess yeah. I don't mind this too much, I guess. Still don't like it, but alright. Basically, it's like a no-you kind of thing. It's like Thorns without taking damage, but way less damage. Also, magical damage is normal. Thorns does exactly the same thing. Whether you are a physical or a magical god, you'll always do magical damage. So the best way to counter this or Thorns is having magical defense. Belt of Frenzy, damage increased. Damage increase from 10 to 15%. Cooldown increase from 5 to 6. Wait, cool. Oh, duration. Duration. Cooldown increase from 120 to 130. So this is a very good change. Very good for Frenzy. I don't know if it's necessary to buff Frenzy, but damage increase. Okay, penetration buff has been removed. I don't think this is necessary, but duration decreased from 8 to 6 seconds. Cooldown increased. Okay. Yeah. I don't think you needed to remove the pen, personally, but Belt of the Berserker. Using this item grants all allied gods within 70 units 30% increased damage dealt to targets, including objectives, and 50% attack speed increase. Decaying every half second for 6 seconds. I'm not sure by how much it decays though. But okay, this is good for structures, which Frenzy was already good for. Okay, this gives you, again, 15 to everything, 25% attack speed. If you earn a kill and this is duration refreshes, this can only occur once per use. So if you put it onto 5 people and one of them gets a kill, it is now 20 seconds. Well, if you time it right. If you don't time it right, it's gonna be... I think 19 seconds is probably the best, because you use it for 9 seconds, then you get a kill, then you get another 10. Blink Rune, no changes. Damage mitigation buff has been removed. This doesn't make sense to me, because this is the only thing Greater Blink used to give, no? Huh? I guess the cooldown is lowered during with the Greater Blink, but I thought it was only... damage mitigation, so not sure. Using this item will allow you to teleport up to units away instantly. This item can not be used if you have taken dealt damage on the last 3. On blinking, slow all enemies movement speed and attack speed by 15%. Okay, so you blink in, you slow them down. Using this will allow you to teleport, leaving behind a trail of wildfire that deals 23 damage per level to enemies that pass through it. This item cannot be... Okay, this seems pretty useless. I guess you could use blink to zone people out, but I really don't see the point of this. This could be good though. Corrupted blink rune, definitely. Bracer. I'm gonna slowly go through this because I haven't actually used the new Bracer yet. So I'll scroll through it, but I'm not gonna leave a comment on it because I'm just not entirely sure what Bracer does. Meds. So it's now Cloak of Meditation instead of Meditation Cloak, okay. I guess I want people to call it Cloak instead of Med. Increase base health restore from 8 to 12. Increase missing health scaling from 5 to 6. Okay, so it just heals for way more. Greater Med Cloak. Removed cooldown reduction effect. That's probably good. You don't really need CDR on Med. Base healing, buff, and a buff to the cooldown. Cloak of... Oh, that's why. Because they couldn't call it Ascetic Cloak and Avatar Cloak, probably. Using this item causes you to enter a meditative state where nearby allied gods within 35 units restore 40 plus 7% of their missing health and mana each tick. Heals occur once every second for 4 seconds. Each pulse reduces cooldowns for all abilities. Okay, this seems really good. This seems really good, holy. Using this item causes you to enter a meditative state, blah blah blah. Within 35 units restore 12 plus 6%, so it's less healing. Heals occur, okay. You also gain a protective barrier of wind that explodes if an enemy comes within 15 units, knocking them back. So, this is to get away from a fight. This is to prolong or win a fight, I think. Cursed Ankh. Shield damage increased from 50 to 75. At a 10% increased damage taken. Debuff when healed by god abilities. This is good. I don't know. I guess it's... yeah. You know, fuck you, hell, Aphrodite, raw, basically. Greater Cursed Ankh. Shield damage increased. That's the same thing. Decreased the increased damage taken buff. Okay, so that's a nerf. And decreased cooldown, that's a buff. Okay. Blighted Ankh. Using this item reduces the healing received by all enemy gods within, okay, by 60% or removes 70% of any currently applied shield, so rip Nike. But also rip Book of the Dead, which is nuts. Enemies that are healed by god abilities while affected by this curse take 20% more damage from all sources for the duration of the curse. All healing reduced by this effect is instead distributed to your allies in a 40 unit radius around you. So against a very strong healing comp, this seems to me like a necessary pickup. I guess you could... Yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah. Drowned Ankh, which for some reason is not aligned. Reduce healing received 40% removes shield. Enemies that are healed by god abilities while affected by this curse cause a pool of miasma to form... Miasma? Okay. To form beneath them that persists for 6 seconds. The miasma deals 2% of the enemy's current health every half a second. So 8%. Wait, no. Wait, how long does it... Oh, for 6 seconds. So 24% of their max health. While enemies are inside of it, and it refreshes the Ankh debuff effect. So you just gotta get out of range. Alright. Heavenly got nerfed. Very hard. Oh my god, this is a huge nerf. Because this was basically the old Hastened Katana, or what the current... No, Hastened Fatalis? I think it used to be called Hastened Fatalis. Whatever now is the Hastened Katana. You could have this on Hunters, which would be really good. But they nerfed that. Entangling Wings. Using this item increases the movement speed of allied gods within 55 units by 20%, or 5 and making you immune to slows. Unuses Relic also roots enemies on you. No, not more CC. Having more CC is not the way to go, in my opinion, but whatever. Using this item increases the movement speed of allied gods within 55 units by 20% for 4 seconds, making them immune to slows and grants haste. Okay, that's good. So tier 3 now has haste. For the duration, successful basic attacks increase the duration by 1 second up to 4. So if you're a decent hunter, you get 8 seconds of haste. Horrific. Increased attack speed debuff. That's fine. Added 15% decreased damage dealt debuff. Okay. But then did increase the cooldown, which I think it was necessary. No changes to the greater horrific. Increased peril. Using this item slows the movement speed. Okay, and attack speed is also reduced by 25% of the duration. Additionally, their damage dealt is reduced by 15%. But then if an enemy god deals 10% of an allied god's maximum health in this time, the debuff effects are increased by 10% each, stacking up to 30 times. So if you... It doesn't really... Oh, okay. There's no range for the ally though. So you hit an enemy with this, and then that enemy hits a teammate, maybe yourself as well. I don't know if you yourself count. Hits them every 10% of their max HP, the buff is increased. So it's 60%. 60% attacks. Wait, no. 60% movement speed and 55 attack speed, I think. And 45 damage. Wow, okay. So when you get hit by this, you basically want to stop damaging and just run. Or try to secure a kill. It's kind of a high risk, high reward scenario. Emblem of Trembling Terror. Using this item slows the movement speed of all enemy gods. That's the same. Attack speed is the same. Damage is the same. If an enemy is dealt 30% of their maximum health during this duration, they are trembled for 1.5 seconds. So that's what Cabrakan does. I don't actually know if any other character... Let me look this up. Smite. Tremble. Let's see. Tremble. I think only Cabrakan has this, right? Tremble is a hardcore control trembling unit will move erratically towards the swords for a duration. Okay. Alright. I'll just assume. They'll just basically run around for 1.5 seconds, like you would in a Cabrakan ult. Magic Shell, increased damage reduction from basic attacks. Okay, so Anti-Hunter, it's a buff. This is a buff as well. Fortifying Shell. Using this item applies a shield to themselves and allies within 35 units. I think this is the same. All allies take 50% reduced damage from basic attacks for the duration. When the shield is broken or expires, allies gain a new buff providing 20% damage mitigation and 20% movement speed for 3 seconds. Alright, so the theme of all of these is obviously they want to make more relics more viable, which I think is a good thing. Using this item applies a shield to themselves and allies. Okay, that's the same, that's the same, that's the same. Using this item also allows you and allied gods to pass through players and player mage objects. Okay, I wonder if they're just gonna... I think Phantom's gone, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna remove Phantom if this does that. Which is good, because you could have it be used for multiple things. Getting Phantom Veil for just Odin or Terra or Cabrakan was usually kind of annoying. Or Yamoja. Fury. Cooldown increased? I don't get this. I don't get it. I don't get why Aegis gets buffed, but then Fury gets nerfed. I think getting more CC gives you more outplay, but having more invulnerability time makes you less... I don't know. I dislike this very much. I don't think Beads needs to be nerfed. Chaotic Beads. Using this item removes strat control effects. Yes, yes, yes. Any CC effect that is cleansing this time, including on activation, sends out a homing projectile to the enemy who applied it, dealing 7% of their magic maximum health. This could be cool for like like an anti-burst kind of thing. Like let's say Poseidon. I guess Poseidon's not a good example. Yeah, maybe Poseidon uses his 3 on you, and then uses his ult, and he's low on HP. You press your beads to get out of the middle of the Kraken, and maybe that damage, that 7%, kills him. Could be good. But like, you could be hit by 5 different CCs and basically do 35% of a couple of gods' HP. So I like it. Counter hard CC, that's good. Temporal beads. Using this item removes crowd control effects. Yes, yes, yes. Reduces active cooldowns by 3 seconds. So what the old bracer used to do. Although I'm not sure if the old bracer was 3 seconds, but I think it could be. I kind of like this change. It's a good change. Shield of Thorns. Oh wait, yeah. Decreased effect damage from 30%. All damage taken to 24% of all damage taken. Okay. Added minus 25% lifesteal debuff for enemies attacking you. That's really good. This is just a kind of a bug fix. They didn't word it right. It does get an increased cooldown. Greater Shield of Thorns. Decreased reflect damage from 30. Okay, same thing. Decreased lifesteal buff for enemies attacking you from 50 to 25. But then what's the difference between... I don't see the difference between the two. Huh. Okay. Thorns of Overgrowth. If you are dealt 120 times your level damage, so at level 10 this would be 1200 damage. While this effect is active, this effect will end early. While this is active, enemies can only lifesteal from you for 50% of their total lifesteal. Additionally, you can 5% movement speed and attack speed for each enemy god within 20 units. Okay, so I think this kind of goes against, you know, people killing themselves by bursting you down, especially if you're a tank. If you're a tank with a lot of health but not a lot of protections, this is not going to be as viable anymore. Sapping Strength. Using this item reflects 35% of your damage, of all damage you take before mitigations for the next 2 seconds, back to its owner as magical damage. While this is active, enemies can only lifesteal for... Wow. Oh no, wait. From you for 75% of their total lifesteal, okay. Each basic attack from enemy god reduces the cooldown of this item by half a second. So, realistically, that's not gonna... realistically, that's gonna be like 4 or so seconds, because people don't really spam through Thorns. It did decrease the cooldown heavily, though. Sundering, shield damage increased, good. Book of the Dead. Cooldown, okay, 5 seconds is not significant. Current health damage reduced from 20... Okay, so that's a nerf. Wait, current health damage... Yeah, that's a substantial nerf. That's 5% less current HP damage they just take. Increased damage taken debuff. Okay, but they did... Wait, increased damage taken debuff decreased. Okay, that's also a nerf, but they did change the cooldown. So they want it to be used more, but it's less potent. Sundering Blast looks amazing, by the way. I really like the icon. Firebolt that travel. Okay, that's the same thing. And splashing in 20 unit radius, that's different. Dealing 50% of their current health extra damage and reducing any active shield. Targets take increased damage. Okay, so I think it's basically just an AoE version. Sundering Siphon. Firebolt that travels 50 units, stopping on the first god hit, reducing any shields by 75% and linking... Wait, and linking them to you? Huh, okay. For the next 4 seconds, they are dealt 5% of their current health as true damage every second, and you receive half that amount as healing. Enemies can break the link if they move past 60 units from you. This relic has 2 charges. A second hit on the same target will just refresh the duration. Okay. That seems fine. TP is now called Teleport Fragment. So from Glyph to Fragment. Can no longer TP towards, but the cooldown's better. But I'm guessing one of these two can. Like to teleport to any ally structure or This effect is not interrupted by damage, but it is interrupted by hard CC, which I think is the same thing as it used to be. You gain slow immunity after TPing, 20% movement speed and 40 protections, decreased cooldown. Persistent teleport. Using this item allows you to teleport to any allied structure or ward while already in place. This effect is not interrupted by damage. It is interrupted by hard CC. Kills and assists on enemy gods reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds. So, if you get a penta, it's only a 40-second cooldown. Which is pretty cool. Oh, we're getting new items as well. Okay, let me just quickly check how much more. Okay, these are all going to be fast, so it's just the glyphs that are going to take some time. But the other big new feature for Season 9 is Glyph Items. These are essentially Tier 4 items, but with some unique rules to them. These additional upgrades on top of some of the most iconic Tier 3 items do not provide any extra stats, but instead provide a new passive effect that stacks with the current item stats and other passive effects. These are priced at a relatively low cost of 600 gold to give flexibility to players about when to get them. Stats are often super important in the early game, so opting into a glyph early could be a pretty heavy trade-off, but these do provide some powerful effects that could certainly help swing a game. Alright, so Amulet of Silence, so this is for Heartward. Gain a stack each time an enemy god is within 40 units. Within 40 units, cast an ability. At 5 stack, your next basic attack against an enemy god will silence them for 1.5 seconds. Only once every 45 seconds. I think on Sylvanas this could be really good, because you have range. Because obviously Heartward's something you get usually on a tank. Oh, apparently there's multiple versions. This one, 20% of your physical protections are converted to magical protections. That's also good. Because, let's say they have 4 Fizz and 1 magical, you only really need to build Heartward, buy 5 physical defense items, and you get a lot of magical protections. Breastplate of Valor. This is Breastplate of Determination. Each time you are hit by an ability, gain a stack of 5 protections that corresponds to the damage type you were hit with. So it's not just physical. Up to a max of 4 each. Once you reach max stacks of both kinds, gain a burst of 20% movement speed and double your protections gained by this effect for 8 seconds, after which all stacks are removed. So it's hard to control because you need to be hit by both types, but 20% and extra protections is really nice. Breastplate of Vigilance. When your ultimate ability has finished casting, you provide an aura in a 40 unit range around you, reducing basic attack damage from enemies hit by 30% for 5 seconds. I think this is good because your Breastplate of Valor is something you use for cooldowns, and cooldowns you usually get on tanks for ultimates, so it's good, but that's not to say that this isn't good. For Deathbringer, Envenomed Deathbringer. Critical hits on enemy gods afflict them with poison for 2 seconds. This poison slows them by 10% and reduces their damage output by 15. Oh, yeah, okay, I was about to say, it's pretty much just Poison Star. Wait a minute. Malicious Deathbringer will subtract 1 second from all your abilities currently on cooldown, except your ultimate. So Malice has been removed, but Malice did work differently. Because Malice gave you 3 seconds per crit with an internal cooldown. Oh, so I guess it does the same thing. Wait, no, it doesn't. I think the big difference is that characters with more than 3 abilities, non-ult abilities, are gonna benefit more from this than they would from Malice. Jones Ferocity. Your next basic attack marks an enemy god. If you hit the marked enemy god or the marked enemy hits you with a basic attack or ability, gain 1 stack. Each stack provides 2% increased damage towards the marked enemy, stacking up to 10 times. Nah. I think it could be good, but I can't really think of any gods I play that this jumps out of. Like, I don't know. Not entirely sure. Jotun's Vigor. If you drop an 40% HP, gain 10% movement speed and 50% physical ability lifesteal. Wow. Yo, this works. Wow, this is a reason to build it on Pele. To build Jotun's on Pele. Because having this and Soul Eater and her passive, you're pretty much going to be healing for more than Anubis with full lifesteal, I think. I would love to test this on Pele. Calamitous Rod of Tahuti. Successfully hitting an enemy god with an ability calls down a meteor that lands after 1.5 seconds, dealing 100 plus 30% of your magical power. Damage in a 15-unit radius. This effect can only occur every 90 seconds. So hyper late game, it's gonna do what? 300 damage? I don't really see a 90 for a 90-second cooldown. This doesn't seem that great. For every 40 magical power you have, you gain 2% attack speed. Whoo, hold up. Wow, this is gonna be really good on. This is gonna make ADC mages so much stronger. Yeah, you're gonna have at least 20% attack speed just from Rod. Crit is getting changed. Critical damage multiplier has been reduced from 2 to 1.75. Wow, this is very substantial. The critical strike chance algorithm has changed from full random to pseudo RNG to allow for more consistent critical. Yes, this is necessary. It will become more likely to get a normal hit the longer a crit streak occurs. Okay. It will become more likely to get a crit the longer. Okay. Critical hit sprees and critical hit miss sprees are both less likely on extreme ends. Okay, so it just you'll have more crits if you have. I mean, okay, yeah. On low crit rate, you are just less likely to get crits, and on high crit rate, you are more likely to get crits. It's just making everything less RNG, which is very good. Starter items. I'm not gonna read this. Warrior's Act, decreased physical power. Okay, less power, less magical power. So it's a nerf. Oh, this is really good. This is really good. Because I think in Assault you can't. Like, if I play Pele in Assault, I can't get Bluestone and Soul Eater, but now I can. So this, I love this. Seer of the Jungle. So this is an upgraded version of Ida Jungle. You get more protections. You do more damage to jungle buffs. And increased ward vision buff. Okay, so it's just a buff all around. Protector of the jungle. You get more power. Tainted Steel got buffed as well. Good. We love a Samantha heal. For items, Mystical Mail. Decreased damage aura. Okay, so basically it'll do 5 less. Which I don't know. I've never really thought Mystical Mail was OP in any way. And for 2,700 gold, I kind of feel like you could allow to have 30, but they changed this obviously for a reason, so maybe it was getting abused by specific characters. Pretty Wind, decrease the shield from 125% to 100. Yeah, I can kind of see that. See that being a necessary nerf, because Pretty Wind's only 2,400. Gives you 20% cooldown reduction. It gives you defense on both sides, so this is fine. Decreased health shield from 15% to 12% of max HP. Again, yeah, Bulwark on like high HP targets was really strong. Although I don't like, theoretically it's really strong. I don't think it was built that often. But I don't mind this nerf. Telekines basically just does less power, has less power. I think this goes well together with the fact that this rod got changed. I feel like you will need to rework some ADC mage items, otherwise they'll just be too strong. Voidstone, oof, that's a huge buff. Voidstone, in my opinion, was already a really good hybrid item for magicals, so not sure if it was necessary. Emperor's Armor, doesn't matter how often you buff this, I still don't think people are going to use it outside of Assault. Jade Empress, a buff. Jade Empress is kind of like the Void Stone for physicals. And it got buffed as well. Blackthorn now builds off of the Heavy Hammer tree. So I think it's still in the same starter, still the same starter item, but it's a different side branch now. Cost, I'm not sure if the cost changed. I'm not entirely sure if the stats are different. I don't know them by heart, so I'm just gonna scroll through this. Runeforged I hope is buffed, because I think it's a really fun item, but it's not that good. Yeah, hide it in the Nemean, okay. A buff on the protections. And you get quicker block stacks. I don't mind this. Buff on Berserkers as well. Mirrodin definitely needs a buff because it's never used. So this is good. It's just a general buff. Celestial Legion also needs to be buff. It's just not used all too often. It's like a niche thing. Some people use it, but most people don't, and it's very hard to find space for this in your loadout, so. Oh, I guess they made it more better for mages, I guess, because you actually get decent power from it, but you don't get as many protections. Warlock Staff, I don't love Warlock Staff being buffed because you're encouraging squishies to go tanky, which I'm never a fan of, but I mean, whatever. Sharon's Coin was already a decent item, so I love that. It got buffed. Decreased cost, increased magical power, yeah. Obsidian's also just, since it got changed, I don't see a lot of people build it, so it's good that they changed it. For Hunters, Rage getting buffed is good. I'm personally someone that will always buy Rage if I go crit, so it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, buff is always nice. Fail Not, 2800 is very expensive, so 150 gold cost could be very nice. Especially with the fact that Arena and Joust now have more gold gain. You'll probably see this be built more. Oh, this is a huge buff, because Deathbringer is pretty much a must in a crit build, so you get 5% crit chance, 5 power, and it's 100 gold less, so that's huge. Your anti-heal shurikens, you get more attack speed, and the anti-heal debuff lasts 4 seconds longer. Malice has been removed. Poison Star has been removed. Atalanta's Bow. I feel like Lifesteal is... Oh. Oh, wow. Wow, that's actually a really good item now. Holy, that's... Wow. You get 10% lifesteal, 20 crit chance, 25 attack speed for 2350. That is that's pretty huge. Silver Branch, they increased the cost, but increased physical penetration. Oh. Okay, well, I remember Silver Branch being the item that gives you power when you cap over 2.5 attack speed, so it must have gotten changed at some point, which I didn't know about, so I can't really leave a comment on this. Devil Gauntlet now stacks quicker and gives you more power. Yeah, I've completely stopped building Devos. I always feel like Trans ASI is just a better alternative, but maybe this is not good. I don't know. It doesn't mention that the lifesteal got changed though, so it might have less lifesteal. I think it has less lifesteal than it used to. Toxic Blade now has 3 stacks, but I think when it got released it was 3, but then it got nerfed to 2. But I'm not sure. Increased max healing reduction, sinking up. Yeah, so 60%. Again, anti-heal, I love it. Give me more. I don't like this because I love the fact that Hydras was cheaper. But I guess it gives more pen, so it's better against tanks. A Hydrus is not an item you usually get against tanks. It helps you one-shot squishies as an assassin, so I'm not a huge fan of this. Golden Blade gives you more power, more attack speed. Soul Eater. Oh, I love Soul Eater as of late on most of my assassins, so it's a buff, which is good. Physical power, okay. And this is also huge. I love this. It's a huge change. Bloodforge cost reduction and 5% movement speed. Movement speed goes really well with Bloodforge because you use it on tanks, so on assassins, and assassins really do need that movement speed. God changes. Okay, Atlas increase. So that's a buff, buff, buff. Decrease the size of the passive meter UI art. Okay. Are you? Okay. What? Atlas is already a problematic god. I don't really see. Okay, maybe his damage does need to be buffed. Okay, but more CC I'm not a fan of. Knockback immune. Wow. Okay, I want to read what it says here. The new god continues to bear just a few too many burdens. His overly conservative release put him to the lower end of the god pool. I disagree with this. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess Conquest, he's not good, but in any other game mode, he's very strong. The fact that he has Protection Shred, the fact that he has a decent amount of CC, he has his cleave autos. I don't know. I mean, everything has to be balanced around Conquest, and I haven't seen Atlas be that good in it. But I feel like he genuinely is one of the strongest Guardians in any other casual mode, so this is only gonna annoy, you know, the entire casual player base even more. Whatever. Camazotz, decrease self-heal? Fair enough. You don't really use your 3 to heal anyway, so... Wait, this is your 3, right? Camazotz. I think Devour is your... Oops, wait, I'm on Wikipedia. No, I don't want to actually... I want the actual the SMITE Camazotz. Devour. Yeah, Devour is your 3. Okay. You don't really use that to heal. I don't really mind this being changed. Your ult's getting a 10% nerf, and the base damage is also nerfed all around. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like your ult's never that impactful on Kama. But no, you know what, actually, I don't play Kama enough to really have an opinion on this, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So a nerf on Souls 1. I like that. Wait, or is this her passive? No, that's her 1, I think. Yeah, I mean... I don't know. Saul's strong, but I've never had an issue with her personally, but... Maybe she is outperforming other ADC mages. Her 3 cooldown being longer is good. I don't like the fact that gods have damage immunities or immunity frames, so... And they also nerfed the movement speed, so this I like. This I don't think is necessary. Personally, but... Again, don't play Solar, don't play against her all too much. Bastet needs to be nerfed, so... Yeah, this is good. And this is also good. Basically, your early game is weaker, which Bastet already has an insanely good early game for an assassin. And now you'll have a very clear indication as to the ult coming your way, so you have more dodge ability. Your lunge on Odin's getting nerfed. Raven Shout nerfed as well, fair enough. Sentinel of Zeus, Nike's ult, decrease shield, okay. So it seems like they're just trying to change shields in general. Also the duration on the shield. I think the duration is not a big issue, but the actual amount is, so those are very good changes. Arachnid, well, she's getting a skin soon, so she needs to be buffed. Although 16 seconds for his 3 is a bit too much, so I don't think this is gonna make her better by any means, but maybe these 14 seconds will make a difference for jungling, which is obviously why Arachnid exists. She doesn't exist in any other game mode, but for jungling this could actually make the difference between farming. So for Emma, increased uncharged damage, increased fully charged. So her 2 is just gonna do more damage whether you have it at base or whether it's fully charged, it'll do more. Yorm is getting movement speed buff. When you get hit by a hard CC, now your slow buff is less. And your damage taken is also less. So Yorm is different than other gods in that he cannot be displaced by a knockback or a knockup. But he gets slowed and he gets a damage taken debuff. So now those are buffed for him. So nerfed for everyone who's playing against him, but good for him himself. Venomous Haze, which I think is his 1, has a bigger slow. And there's more damage as well. Yorm release was like very problematic as far as I remember, but right now I don't think he's that annoying, so buffs are always nice. She's nice. For Tyr, his ult just does more damage. I don't think this is an issue. There's always going to be annoying, because in casual modes again, he one-shot squishy, so I don't think a buff to his ult is gonna make him more annoying. Plus, ults like Tyr or Raven, I kind of like that they do a lot of damage, because you're displacing yourself to finish off a kill instead of using them defensively, and I think any kind of motivation to use them offensively is always good. Baba's Brew, her second ability, just getting a base damage buff. Very, very, very insignificant though, because mages scale a lot. So 10 at level 5 is not going to do much. Her ult removed self-root on fire. I didn't really even know this was a thing, but when you were firing, apparently you were rooted. And reduced pre-fire time from 0.5 to 0.2. So you're gonna shoot faster, I think, if I'm reading this right. For Kurnanos, first 1, a Summer Stance now gives you more power scaling. People don't really use. I feel like you always use slow to catch up, lifesteal to heal up, and then... yeah, no, I guess you do use power stance, so it is gonna change. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's good. More ADC damage. Ooh, this is... I don't think this is a good thing, no. This is not a good thing. Actually, no, because it only hits you for, what, like, a second, half a second, so... It's not that problematic, but let's say you're playing on her, and you're low HP, and Kern hits you with his Bramble Blast. You don't get to jump out. He just kills you. For Cherno, that's his 1. Increased base damage on detonate from 15 to 20% of Chernobog's basic attack power. I thought it just scaled off regular power, but whatever. Basically just a bit of extra damage on your 1 when it explodes. Wait. Oh no, this is his passive. Oh, this is his passive. This is his 1. Oh yeah. So when he hits you with like what, 4 basics? Or 1? I think it's 4. Maybe 3 or 5, I'm not sure. You basically just do more damage. Okay, so you have bigger range on your 1, and the travel time is sped up, so it lands faster. Horus is a character I don't know anything about, so this is a buff, increased gust damage, a buff. Okay, so it's just damage buffs all around, which I'm not sure if Horus needed that, because he already had decent damage, I feel like. For a warrior, that is. But, hey, I mean, again, Horus I hated on release, but I don't really mind all too much anymore, so some buffs. Chronos, decreased time per stack. So this is his like overall passive, where he gets more power throughout the game, I think. Or did that get changed? No, I think that's his passive. So I'm guessing at 37.5 minutes, he gets 125 power. Okay, Nox. Shadow, I hate Nox, so... although this is I don't have an issue with, because it just helps her clear a bit more. Okay, so it's just a buff to her minion damage, it's not a buff to her actual damage. For Iset, for her passive, increased Aura radius of ally buff from 40. Okay, so she gets... That's more of a supporting buff. Increased mana cost for her Wind Gust, which is good. I'm not sure how good or bad Iset's mana usage was, but yeah. Spirit All increased daze damage. Again, it's 20 damage at level 50. It's only 5 damage extra at level 2. This is... I don't really see this having any significance. New skin voice actors. I don't personally recognize any of these names, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not really familiar with voice acting. That's it. This video is an hour and 10 minutes. Damn. I hope you enjoyed. If there's any questions about the patch or anything, leave them in the description below. See you in the next one. Goodbye.